Have you ever experienced that after engaging in a hands-on activity, you remember the information better, or that seeing a demonstration or hearing from an expert left a more lasting impact on you than reading about the topic? If so, here are the 9 things you need to know about Dale's Cone of Experience. Dale's Cone of Experience is a visual model that describes how different methods of learning can affect retention and comprehension. Number 2, the cone illustrates the passive learning methods like reading and watching have a lower retention rate than active learning methods such as hand-on experience or teaching. Did you know that there is an original form of cone of experience? And it looks like this. Only 10% of what students have read in their textbooks and on their notes can be remembered. For example, when we assign you to read some of the selection during a class session and you notice after the class you can't remember the most what you just read, it's because the information was only stored in your short-term memory. Number 5. During a teacher's discussion, no matter how you tried to focus on listening or when you had other business, you made yourself attentively listen, but after you left the class, you found it difficult to recall the discussion. It is because 20% of what we have heard can only be remembered. According to this kind of experience, this phenomenon is not uncommon as listening falls under the category of passive learning which tends to have a lower retention rate. When your teachers are discussing, sometimes they will show pictures and there are also videos attached from the PowerPoint presented to the class. Even if the video duration is less than a minute, we can't remember all the content of the video. We are also asked to plot the movie we have watched from the film viewing session, but not all the things we have written on the plot are accurate for the film we have watched. Even the pictures are being used as example can only be remembered to a 30% accuracy according to Dale Cone of Experience. Have you been in the situation when you're in session in your laboratory? For example, when your instructor demonstrates to the class using Photoshop the way of removing the blemishes of someone's face that are visible on a photo? And after it is demonstrated, it is your turn to do it. Then you suddenly realize that you cannot recall all the steps properly. It is because, according to the Dale's Cone of Experience, 50% of what you have watched and heard during the demonstration has been retained in your brain. This highlights the importance of practicing and implementing newly learned skills in order to improve the retention rates and become more proficient at such tasks. When participating, or when your teacher asks the class to follow them while demonstrating, or even ask them to participate in the activity, you can see the differences between having a chance to perform the blemish removal yourself and only watching your teacher because by the time you wanted to do it yourself, it was already easy for you to do the next step. Because 70% of what you have seen and tried to perform was remembered for you because it was familiar. However, your learnings or knowledge will be improved as your instructor gives you some practices and even tasks about removing blemishes because the more you do it, the more you can do it better. Because you're not only familiar but also master the steps and tools and makes 90% of the lesson can be remembered by the students and may also lead them to be skilled in that Photoshop works. All I have mentioned is what the teachers and parents should consider as it helps them to do better work in teaching their students and themselves. I hope you liked the video and thank you for watching. I am Lynette Peña from Btled 3D.